after I've discussed what's going on at what particular times, we then have a meeting with the exhibition officer, Alice, to decide what members of staff are needed where, not just purely from a day-to-day operational point, from actually a set-up point, because obviously our staff would help while the gallery's closed, while the set-up goes on. So they'd help with hanging the paintings, painting the walls, making sure everything's ready and good to go in the lead up to the grand opening, and then thereafter managing the event.
We do very much work as a part of a team, so we would have the learning officer involved, and we may have the exhibitions officer involved. Certainly the museum manager would be involved, and if it's an event that we haven't run before, we would have our museum services manager involved, who looks after the front of house team and the practicalities. So that's our kind of starting point, really.
When you're getting a bit closer to the time, you need to start communicating with all the key people. So obviously your curators already know, but do the front of house know, do the AV team know, other members of staff you might need. So it's thinking about where the events are going on. Is the space booked? That's a really fundamental one, but it's so easy to overlook. Is the space booked? Have you got enough members of staff? Have you got any equipment? And communicating those things. You'll find with most institutions there is a kind of received way of doing things, whether it's sending out emails. It's a good idea to send out emails, but it's a really good idea to have some meetings and make sure the message goes in. Sometimes it doesn't.
We use our own staff who make the most of our collections and bring them to life, but we also work with artists, writers, people who are songwriters even, performers. We have some reenactment on our site. So we do lots of things like that for school-aged children and younger people.